Come with me while we go down under to the luxury lodges of Australia. Hi, I'm Teresa Belcher, founder of Honeymoon Islands, and today my co-host is Libby Cook, and she's going to take us and walk us through all the luxury lodges of Australia. So it's over to you, Libby.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I'm thrilled to share with you the luxury lodges of Australia. This is a remarkable collection of premium high-end lodges located throughout all of Australia. You can see them on the map here. What these lodges represent are authentic Australian experiences. So that compelling reason to travel deeper, to travel beyond the cities, to go beyond Sydney, Melbourne, Cairns, Adelaide, and to have those regional experiences, whether it's the outback, rainforest, reef, indigenous, food and wine. These are the high-end premium lodges that deliver that experiential luxury. Australia is vast. I love this graphic where it shares with you the size of Australia being similar to that of the United States. There's a lot to experience. If you can think about visiting the US, is it just one trip or is it multiple trips? But these lodges provide you that reason to travel beyond those urban cities. To experience the landscapes. You can see how naturally isolated these lodges are. I should note that these lodges are all individually owned. It's not just one ownership. These are the lodges that have come together to kind of showcase, as I mentioned, the experiential luxury. It's the breadth, the depth, the diversity of Australia. Just visually, they're so exciting. So whether it is taking you to some areas that are protected, providing you that exclusive access within maybe protected UNESCO designated areas, these lodges provide you access to other areas that you would not otherwise be able to experience. So there is this privilege of place. I'd like to demystify the time to visit Australia because everyone assumes it's during the holidays, December, January, February, during the summer months, which is a beautiful time to experience Australia. But if you can imagine the size of Australia, the northern third of the country is tropical, meaning it's a wet or dry season. So during the December, January, February, that's the height of the summer, which is a beautiful time maybe in the southern part of Australia, but the northern parts can be a bit wet. It's not necessarily the season to experience maybe the Great Barrier Reef with maybe intermittent showers or a possible storm coming through. But during that time of year, traveling to the southern part of Australia is ideal. Conversely, this time of year, June, July, August, is a beautiful time to experience all of Australia, but predominantly the outback. So the center of Australia being a dry, desert, arid climate. This would be their winter season, so the temperatures come down, and it's a much more desirable time to visit the interior and also that northern part. So there's always something to experience within Australia. And again, I'd like to lead with the experiences. Why? What are you going to do at that particular part of Australia, at that particular lodge? So with that, again, I have 19 lodges to share. I will not cover all of them on today's discussion, but I work with Teresa very closely and happy to provide you a bit of a teaser on what Australia can deliver. Starting down south on an island called Kangaroo Island is Southern Ocean Lodge. This lodge originally opened in 2008 and won World's Best. It sits prominently overlooking the Southern Ocean on an island called Kangaroo Island, where you can see the wildlife in the wild. So it's a natural Galapagos experience. We unfortunately succumbed to the bushfires in January of 2020, and it was a complete loss. We lost the entire lodge, but just most recently in December of last year, we reopened Southern Ocean Lodge kind of 2.0. And we recreated this magnificent lodge, again, along the tops of the cliffs overlooking the Southern Ocean, a stunning great room with floor-to-ceiling windows. It's invigorating. It fills your soul. This unspoiled natural beauty, a lot of areas to enjoy, a very inclusive price point and tariff. So help yourself to the wine cellar. There's more than 200 bottles of South Australian wines available for you to select. All of your meals and all of the signature touring. We have a spa on site with a fitness center. Again, so many reasons just to enjoy the lodge itself. Beautifully appointed with kind of a natural textures, the design decor, the aesthetic. We do have a 4-bedroom villa, which is brand new. Nicely accommodating those larger families wanting a bit more privacy, maybe exclusivity. So we have the Bailey Pavilion here. And then during the day with our guides and our drivers, we will share with you beautiful areas of Kangaroo Island in search of the wildlife. So we're looking for kangaroos and wallabies. It's a good day to see an echidna or a koala. Again, there are no predators on this island, so it's a beautiful island to explore. Naturally pristine, and then at the end of the day, returning back to Southern Ocean Lodge for that beautiful, gracious hospitality. When thinking of Australia, I do like to think about layering some of these lodges together to combine them into a larger itinerary. So to combine the wildlife with perhaps a food and wine region, which is located just outside of Adelaide, so very close to Kangaroo Island. You can travel from Adelaide down to Kangaroo Island or into Adelaide, and then a quick stop up to the Barossa wine region, which is 1 hour north of Adelaide, where we have the Louise. It's set amongst the vineyards. These are some of the oldest vines within Australia. It's a 15-suite property, providing that almost a backstage pass to this wine region. So some really specialized experiences where you're not amongst everyone else. You have some private experiences. So starting your day with breakfast with the kangaroos, or maybe a wine tour through a vineyard in their Defender vehicles, their Jeeps, but finishing at a perfectly laid table for a tasting, but out in amongst the vines, where they're pointing to the grapes of the wine that you're tasting. So always bringing it back to a sense of place. There's an image of me there. I did a custom wine blending course, which was fascinating, with 3 different varietals, and then was able to take the bottle back home with me. There's beautiful cooking schools, and you can taste your birth year in fortified port wines at Seppeltsfield. So a lot of specialized food and wine experiences when staying at the Louise. So moving up to the center of the country, we have the spiritual heart of Australia. This is Uluru, formerly known as Ayers Rock. And our lodge here is Longitude 131, which is an outback luxury tented camp, again, in the most sacred area of Australia, with unparalleled views of Uluru, of the rock. Just the 15 one-bedroom tents. We have 1 2-bedroom. Again, like Southern Ocean Lodge, generously included. Make yourself feel at home. Help yourself to the bar, to the wine cellar here as well. We have a gorgeous pool on site, spa services available, but always gazing out to Uluru. There's opportunities for you to sleep out under the stars. So all of our 15 one-bedroom tents are fully air-conditioned, as you can imagine, and provide that exclusivity. Again, we have unparalleled views of the rock. This here's the Dune Pavilion. This is our 2-bedroom. It's absolutely stunning, with a 270-degree view of Uluru, as well as Kata, which is another designated UNESCO heritage listed site. Every other night, we dine out under the stars at table 131. Now, the goal of the reason you're coming, you're venturing the 3.5-hour flight from maybe Sydney or Melbourne to Ayers Rock, to Uluru, is to better understand the cultural significance of this location to the Aboriginal people. So essentially, this is a cultural immersion. This is understanding that Aboriginal culture. We interpret the night skies the Aboriginals have. You return back to your tents. The fires are lit. You can sleep in a swag, which is similar to a kind of a sleeping bag with a bit of a memory foam, and sleep out under the stars. And if you can imagine the night sky from being the horizon up and over to the horizon, almost like you're inside a dome, all night sky. The depth of the stars is overwhelming. This area is sacred. There's an energy here. It is really, really powerful. I recommend a 2 or a 3 night stay because by day we're taking you to Uluru, to the rock, also to Echidnas, better understanding, again, the cultural significance here, looking at some of the rock art. There's still areas of these locations that photography is not allowed. They still hold ceremonies to this day. So it's a fascinating insight into the cultural traditions of the Aboriginal people. That's why you come to Longitude. So within an itinerary, I do love a combination of a rock, rainforest, and reef. That is a beautiful kind of updated version of the former kind of Sydney Rock and Reef triangle, which was always very popular about 15 years ago. But Silky Oaks Lodge, which is located in the northeastern portion of Australia, just north of Cairns, just about an hour and 10 minutes north, just outside of Port Douglas, you have the Daintree Rainforest, which is the oldest living rainforest in the world. It's 180 million years old and 10 million years older than the Amazon. Here we have our beautiful 40 suite and retreat lodge overlooking this Mossman River. There's an amazing moment of arrival. Your jaw drops when you are greeted with the sights and the sounds of the Daintree Rainforest. It is a good healing energy here at Silky Oaks. A lot of open air, as you can imagine, with ceiling fans. All of the rooms are air conditioned, of course. Gorgeous culinary, and we include a breakfast and dinner with some cocktails and canapes in the mix. The 40 suites are various levels, but many of them have these outdoor spa tubs because the Bailey lodges that are the owners love a kind of a soft contemporary styling. The new Daintree Pavilion is the 2-bedroom private, more exclusive accommodation, and definitely backs right into the rainforest. And for that, you feel enveloped when here. Experiences when staying at Silky Oaks really run a full range. It can be connecting with the local Aboriginal, the traditional landowners of this region are called the Gugu people. You can have a half day or full day guided experience with the Gugu. You can walk amongst the rainforest. You have an opportunity to venture out to the Great Barrier Reef from Port Douglas. There's a number of charter boats that operate full day trips out. So when staying, there's dot painting classes, there's river snorkeling and the river float that you see on the right-hand side while you gaze up at that canopy of 100 million years. Again, there's this wonderful quiet energy here. You can also venture up to Cape Tribulation. So Silky Oaks becomes a bit of a launching point to explore all of tropical North Queensland. And it's a bit more authentic than Cairns. Cairns, again, being just an hour's drive away, a little bit more touristy. So here you're going, traveling a little bit outside for a little bit more of a curated experience. But if you're wanting to experience Great Barrier Reef, we have 2 lodges, one being Qualia, the other being Lizard Island. Qualia sits on Hamilton Island, so it's a gateway to the Great Barrier Reef. It is right in the middle of the Great Barrier Reef, meaning that it's an easy flight from Sydney, from Melbourne, from Brisbane, straight into the airport of Hamilton Island. And then it's it's a 10-minute drive from the airport directly to the Qualia entrance gates. Qualia is private. It is gated. It's exclusive. It's adults only, 16 years and older. It's a little sexy. It's quite fabulous with 60 individual pavilions. Breathtaking views of Whitsunday Island. We've just introduced a new 3-bedroom residence, but most of these are the 1-bedroom with the beach house being a 2-bedroom configuration. Again, catering to your adults, your couples, your honeymooners for sure, with opportunities to not only experience the Whitsunday Island group where Hamilton Island is situated, which is just, again, off the coast of the mainland, but it also serves as a gateway to the Great Barrier Reef. So about an hour and 20-minute flight or cruise out, you can have a day on the Great Barrier Reef. So it's almost a dual destination. You're looking at Hill Inlet here on the left, beautiful Whitehaven Beach, which extends off the page on the left here. One of the top 10 most beautiful beaches in the world, constantly beautifully rated. And it's that white silica sand that just never gets hot. Mesmerizingly beautiful. What was introduced just a couple of years ago was a very private experience called Journey to the Heart. And this is Heart Island, which is actually directly behind me in my background here. An opportunity for no more than 6 people to fly out via helicopter to the Great Barrier Reef to land on this pontoon that's stationed there. Down below there is a beautiful lounge, maybe a glass of champagne or bubbles, snorkeling right off of the pontoon. Here you're on the Great Barrier Reef, but then they pull out the glass bottom motorboat, the motor yacht, and you then circumnavigate the Heart. Absolutely thrilling. You feel, again, it's that immersive experience. It's how these lodges provide that connection to place. This is a true wow experience, one that you never forget. One of the other reef lodges within the luxury lodges of Australia is Capella Lodge. And Capella Lodge is actually not on the Great Barrier Reef, but it's on an island called Lord Howe Island, which is situated further south. So about 2.5-hour flight from Sydney east into the Tasman Sea there. You have what we call Australia's Bora Bora, Lord Howe Island. It is a protected UNESCO designated island. They only allow 400 visitors per night on the island with a local population of about 300. So here you have a 9-suite, kind of a barefoot chic kind of beach house vibe at Capella Lodge. Your days are spent, well, you may enjoy with the cocktails in the evening, but your days are spent relaxing, rejuvenating, disconnecting. Very popular with the local Australians as that weekend escape, getting away from it all. The island is home to species found nowhere else in the world, so endemic species. This is the world's most southern coral reef. So we are further south than the Great Barrier Reef, and we don't experience that wet season that they have during their summer months, the cyclones that may come through. So we're a little bit more of a safer, more secure option during that first quarter of the year. As well, we don't have the box jellies, the stingers that are situated up on the northeastern part of the country. So Lord Howe Island delivers this wonderful reef experience. Again, not Great Barrier, but the world's most southern coral reef. Also a beautiful island for hiking and exploring, and also diving, I should say. Ball's Pyramid's a great dive. So some tremendous just natural beauty here on Lord Howe Island. Very barefoot, as I mentioned. Wonderful, wonderful escape for really anyone. Hopping over and just sharing with you, again, that breadth, the depth, and the diversity within Australia. On the north central part of Australia, we have the Kimberley region, which is about over 1 million acres, and El Cuestro Homestead sits on 700,000 of those acres. This is an outback, beautiful landscape. We have just the 10 suites. We are welcoming to more adults, the 16 years and older. A lot of outdoor adventure here when staying. Again, the pace is a little bit slower. We have some thermal springs, the Zebedee Hot Springs here. Wonderful hikes, walks, a quick helicopter over to the Argyle mines for the rose diamonds that are famous in Australia. So again, a 3-night stay pretty much at all of these lodges. Lake House, located outside of Melbourne, down in Victoria, is one of our 3 cultural culinary destinations. This lodge is renowned for its food, its wine. It has created almost a food movement in the Dalesford town. It has been awarded more than 30 chef's hats, which is like a culinary distinction, like a Michelin rating, if that translates. So it's about the food and the wine. A beautiful Salah spa, very beautiful. It's a bit of a haven, a sanctuary, and again, 90 minutes from Melbourne, so an easy add-on for anyone visiting Melbourne there. Most recently, they've opened the Dairy Flat Farm, which is just about 2 miles away, which is where we source most all of our fruits and vegetables. It's a working farm. We have a gorgeous bakery. The sourdough is just delicious. And so it's a whole regenerative farm experience. Sapphire Freycinet down in Tasmania. This is one of those beautiful architecturally designed lodges. Looks a little bit like a stingray, located within about a 2.5 hour drive from Hobart on the east side of Tasmania. And Tasmania is raw and it's beautifully, naturally unspoiled. It's as close to kind of that New Zealand landscape as Australia gets. And here we have our 20 suites, 3 different categories, a lot of outdoor adventure here, and a beautiful inclusive tariff with all of your meals, some beverages, and then more than 20 activities, whether that's venturing out to Wineglass Bay for some oyster tastings, visiting the Tasmanian Devil sanctuary that we have on site, enjoying the food, the wine. We have a whiskey trail throughout New Zealand because the climate is very reminiscent, very similar to that of Scotland. And not to mention the hikes. Those mountains you're looking at are the Hazard Mountains. They're made out of pink granite, breathtakingly beautiful during sunrise, sunset. The lighting is just magical. So Sapphires is the only luxury lodge in Tasmania, although we do have an expedition ship operating now down on the southwestern coast called On Board the Odalisque 3. South Sallis West Coast, just to show kind of the full breadth here. We go from a design lodge of Sapphire to a tented camp at South Sallis. This is out on the West Coast, another reef, but it's the Ningaloo Reef, which is a fringing reef, meaning it comes right up to the water's edge. You can see that there. Tented, we have the 16 safari tents. We don't leave a footprint. We could drop them tomorrow and you would never even know. We are situated within the Cape Range Wilderness Park. So again, that exclusive access, allowing our guests to have the ability to enjoy the Ningaloo Reef, whether it's a drift snorkel, a kayak, but certain times of the year, we have opportunities to swim with the whale sharks that migrate through from April to July, or the humpback whales that migrate through from August to October. South Sallis is a seasonally opened lodge as well. So again, 3-night stay, 4 nights if at all possible. And then just last but not least, again, there's more lodges, but these were the ones I just wanted to kind of showcase today. True North, the other expedition wilderness ship that operates up in the Kimberley region, as well as kind of circumnavigating Australia. Not only is this ship just the 18 cabins or staterooms, it has a very shallow draft, which allows the boat to go places that the larger ships can't go. It has an all-Australian crew, so you get a very, very much an insight into that Aussie culture with a number of these expedition boats, these aluminum boats that provide that access. So we have itineraries up in the Kimberley region for about 5 months out of the year. The helicopter on board allows you that access to fly inland to view Aboriginal rock art that's so inaccessible. And that's what these lodges deliver. Most recently, the True North 2 joined the luxury lodges, which is just a smaller version, just 12 staterooms, also with a helicopter operating in the similar waters. So you have 2 options with True North. So with that, again, I'm inspired by what Australia delivers for that experiential traveler. There's a lot to experience, and Teresa is a beautiful partner and can curate that itinerary with you. So thank you.
You did a wonderful job, as usual. You just flow one right after the other. And you know what? The luxury lodges of Australia has so much to offer. You've got food and wine, pampering, relaxing, swimming, outback, spiritual, adventure, hikings in the rainforest. I mean, there's nothing left out of a typical vacation. You can run the gamut on anything. So if anybody is watching and you're inspired by this podcast, please reach out to me. I'm Teresa from Honeymoon Islands. I would be really happy to craft your itinerary and work on your vacation and make it reality. So until next time, if you can dream it, we will create it. Bye, Libby.
Thanks, Teresa. Bye-bye.
Bye.